What's up, everyone? Dan here, Crypto Capital Venture, May 23rd, 2019. What is Bitcoin going to do next? That's simply what I'm going to talk about in this video. I'm going to provide good data for you to take into your own evaluation of the markets right now, your own evaluation of your portfolio right now, especially in terms of Bitcoin. So let's jump into the charts. Let's talk about it. On the screen, I have the weekly chart. These areas where you see percentage gains, you can kind of ignore. I was just messing around with the charts, but you could use it for context to this video, which is to say all these massive gains, parabolic gains, this was in the bull market in 2017, were followed by retracements, right? Large corrections. Those are massive gains, but we had some large corrections as well. So we're at kind of a similar move for Bitcoin right now from its swing low back in December and then ongoing through February. From February to where we are now, we're talking over 150% gains, right around 150% gains for Bitcoin. So throughout the life of Bitcoin, if we get massive gains and it's always been followed by retracement, isn't it wise to at least anticipate possible retracement? I talk about it a lot, but I want to just go over a few things. In my live stream the other night, I talked about maybe potentially getting ready for Bitcoin to enter a consolidation phase, which is 100% bullish, by the way. Very similar to what happened out of the last bear market back in 2015. Everybody remembers this bottom range, right? We kind of just experienced a similar type of Bitcoin environment, through this bear market over here. So what would consolidation look like? Well, a bullish consolidation looks like a continuation pattern, and we have a couple back here after that bear market. Here's a symmetrical triangle. Here's more of a falling wedge, right? Both pretty nice looking continuation patterns, which led us into the bull market. Very simple. Looking back on the data, it's very clear. Obviously, we can never 100% guess these things to happen, but in my spare time, I do like to plot these things out, right? I want Bitcoin to follow that successful path that it's had in the past, right? So what does that look like for Bitcoin right now? It could look like, I should say, a continuation pattern at this very point. So we talk about we have massive gains, and often throughout the history of Bitcoin, that leads into retracement. I think we can plot this out, right? And I talked about this in the live stream the other night, but I really wanted to do a nice, quick, short video because I know many people probably didn't make it to that part of the long live stream that I did. So here's a continuation pattern. This is kind of more of a symmetrical triangle I've plotted out. It's completely speculative, everybody. I know that. We might not have a retracement until we hit 10,000, right? And then we have a retracement. But this is kind of speculative as to where we are now. And if we look at a couple things, so if we zoom out on the weekly, I just want to point something to your attention. If we look at the momentum oscillators for Bitcoin, RSI, right? RSI, this right down here, the momentum of Bitcoin, it's this oscillator that really illustrates the momentum of Bitcoin. When we started to see the consolidation, these continuation patterns, these bullish continuation patterns, after massive gains out of the last bear market, right? Like right here, our RSI was just entering the overbought area. We're at a really similar area on the RSI right now. So to anticipate a similar move, retracement back down, consolidation to the downside, even to the 50 moving average down here, $5,300, $5,400. It's not stupid to at least anticipate a move like that. I'm not sitting here calling that, but I'm talking about it because that is my next action move. That is the area where I will take action and accumulate more Bitcoin and Litecoin. And as I mentioned in the other live stream the other day, altcoins. Altcoins have massive potential leading into the next bull market, and I want to be there for it. So what's it look like on the daily? Very simple. Here it is on the daily. We have really a couple areas, right? We have a 50 moving average right around $6,000. I tweeted, I think yesterday, at the very least, if we don't see a retracement to $6,000, I'd be very surprised, especially after we kind of formed this lower high here, right? So in this upward move that we've had in Bitcoin kind of saw a high here, not long ago, right? A week and a half ago. And then we kind of retraced back up to that area, but we didn't get quite as high. We have like a lower high, right? So is the momentum dying down for Bitcoin? It's a good question to ask. It's a good thing to keep your eyes on. And then if we actually open back up the daily stock RSI, just want to point something out to you. On the RSI, before we look at the stock RSI, this pink line on the RSI, we have a lot of room to the downside, right? So there's a ton of setup in play for consolidation for Bitcoin. That's illustrated on the RSI. If we look at this stock RSI, the faster moving momentum oscillator, this stock RSI, although in the oversold area, can absolutely 100%, if we get a drop in Bitcoin, whether it's a quick drop or a 24-hour drop, can absolutely hang down in this oversold area for a while. I just want to throw that out there. Don't be too deceived by the stock RSI. It's not nearly as reliable as the RSI, the slower moving momentum oscillator. And then lastly, the MACD. We see the MACD line actually almost crossing right below the signal line. It's something to be careful of. Right now is not a time to be guessing what's going to happen with Bitcoin. You want to be very careful when you have a move like this, this MACD getting ready to cross the signal line. We have this momentum cruising back down to zero on the histogram right here, and potentially to the downside right down here. So you really want to be very careful. The last thing I'll point out on the weekly oscillator is this, the stock RSI. Look how long the stock RSI on the weekly chart has been overbought. Up here, you can get a sense of it. Actually, if we make it smaller, you can get a really good picture of it going back to the last bear market back here. You can see it's never been this overbought for so long, pretty much since 2013, all the way back here, right? We've been up here for a while. So a bullish consolidation like we had over here in that last bear markets would do something for Bitcoin very healthy, which is a nice little pullback on the stock RSI. Quicker momentum oscillator on the weekly. That's what I'm looking at. I wanted to share it with you. I'm not calling it. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it's 100% possible, and it's very, very much in play. And I want to leave you with this. It would be a good thing. It would be a great opportunity to accumulate Bitcoin if you're keen on accumulating Bitcoin for the long term. That's not financial advice, everybody. If you're here right now and you're not a subscriber, please hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you as part of the channel. I will see you all in the next video. Have a great day, and God bless.